Hey guys, I want to thank you for watching and contributing to the show. Every day I read something about a comedian or a comedy producer that supports censorship. Fuck these people, Patton Oswalt. Comedy is meant to be uncensored. Nothing is off limits, and if the truth hurts your feelings, then too bad. Change the station. Don't tell anyone else what they can or can't say. That's why I created this show, a place to find unfiltered and brutally honest comedy. And since the media running libs would never put this show out there, we did it ourselves. Me and my team, along with your support and contributions. To that end, please consider contributing to the show to keep us going. You can either click the link below this video, or on my website on the top at nickdip.com. You fuel the show, and I appreciate all your generosity. We can't do it without you. Let me tell you something, folks. We're not gonna bother. Hi, folks. How you is? What it was, and what it is. Cocaine. Hey, that's great shit you got there, man. Nobody came down here to negotiate for Frank Lopez. Nobody. Your ass got out the money. How good was he? F. Murray Abrams. You guys remember Scarface? I met him in the kitchen at Louis C.K.'s house. I think he's a big girl, but whatever, tremendous actor. All right, folks, welcome to the show. What is it, Tuesday? Filthy Tuesday? Filthy Tuesday. It's a Filthy Tuesday. I am, my whole life I've never could nap, no matter how tired I am. I just couldn't sleep during the day. So don't tell me I'm not dying of something, because lately yesterday, come home from here, do a couple little things, put my head down at 10 or 4, wake up at 8:35. I've never done that. You understand? 8, and then go to bed. Well, I stay up till 3, like I always do, and then sleep through the night. I'm fucking dying, folks. The chinks got me, I'm telling you. Long. How long, I ask? I'm nervous. I can't even defend myself. 12-year-old threw a fucking punch at me. I'd have to just curl up in a ball. I'm exhausted. Can you imagine, though? 4 hours? Wow. Wowie. Okay, anyways.
Meanwhile, we got up at 5 this morning and went to the beach for the sunrise and went kayaking to the an uninhabited island.
Don't say that on the air. My wife's going to hear that shit and realize just how horrible I am. My wife would do more activities if she married Stephen Hawking than me. Fucking Dallas and his girlfriend are out there. They're like tourists. Oh my God, you were kayaking this morning? Yeah. That's called living, man. I was never that guy. I'm that guy that lays on the couch and watches people kayak, and then somebody gets hurt in the boat and I laugh. I go, see? Or people who jump out of helicopters onto mountains that snow that nobody's ever skied and they end up dying in an avalanche. I jerk off to that like porn. I sit there with a box on my Triscuits in one hand. Look, he's dead. That nigga dead. Meaning white guy, no black guy ski like that. You know that. Anyhow, real quick, Boston sports update. Bruins fire Bruce Cassidy. Guys only had the second best winning percentage behind Tampa the last 5 years. Blows my fucking mind. I think he's made the playoffs almost every goddamn year. Have no idea. Somebody said he lost the locker room. And if that's the case, I'm probably boring you non-sports fans, but you watching me anyways. I sounded like Christopher Walken. That's what happens today. You have to be a player's coach. Let me give you my quick theory on that. in sports, you have to be a player's coach, and you have to be player friendly. You can't be that Vince Lombardi guy or Parcells, Bill, except for Belichick, he's a killer. But you have to be friendly with the players, and you know what happens when you do that? You become their friends, and then you lose their respect. That's my theory on that. This guy's the best coach the Bruins have had in fucking almost forever, maybe. Anyway, he be out. Sox won their 4th in a row. 3rd pitcher in the starting rotation to go a full 9 innings this year. That doesn't happen anymore, folks. It's happened 3 times in the last 3 weeks with the Red Sox. Walker went 9 innings, 1-0 shutout against the Angels, who lost their 12th in a row. Can you imagine losing 12 games in a row with Mike Trout on the team? And Ohani, or Otani, or Chingfangade, I don't. Can you imagine? So yet the Yankees keep winning. Sox have won 17 out of the last 25, some crazy shit, hitting the shit out of the ball. My boy Devers is first in hits in all of Major League Baseball. Hardest hit balls, extra base hits. Plus on base plus OPS and something else. First in all of baseball. Kid's 25 years old. He hit a ball that was a foot off the fucking outside last night. That you're not supposed to swing at. Fucking but doubles. Never seen anything like it in my life. We're watching something once in a lifetime, I'm telling you. And the fucking Colorado Avalanche are in the finals of that NHL. They eliminated you-know-who last night. Edmonton in overtime. So now you're caught up. Now let me talk about the arts. There's a beautiful play called The Mouse That Roared that Dallas is doing with his wife. Yeah. All righty then. Remember, let's get into the show. Remember yesterday we did a story about that shootout in Philly on South Street? It's people where they hang out on Saturday night, outdoors, bars, nice entertainment area. And the shootout, and I didn't want to judge. Remember I said they didn't mention any races on there. But then I found, I did a little rating today, and, one of the guys' name was Karan, another Raheem. The other one is Nike. They were blacker than fucking Oprah's asshole. That's all I could come up with. Matumbe's taint. I actually said that on stage. All right, brotherly love update. 2 people are in custody in connection to the mass shooting that killed 3 people and wounded 11 others on South Street in Philadelphia over the weekend. It's so weird. I watch these clips now. I've been everywhere in 30 years. These streets look familiar to me. I've walked them, when I'm on the road with nothing to do, or after the show I go look for trouble or drinking. South Street in Philadelphia over the week. Karan Garner, 18. God, I was right again with my prejudging racist instincts. Karan, nobody ever with that haircut's ever done any good. I'm just saying. That wasn't in, Sly and the Family Stone. Karan Garner, 18, was arrested and charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault and 2 counts of aggravated assault on law enforcement officers. Police and U.S. Marshals also arrested a second man in the shooting Monday around 7:30 p.m. along the 2300 block of Hemberger Street. That man, I wonder if he has a black name. Let's see. Identified as 34-year-old Rashawn Doreen. Will be charged with attempted murder, aggravated assault, simple assault. Simple? Nothing simple about it. Recklessly endangering another person, conspiracy, violation of the Uniforms Firearms Act, possession of an instrument of crime, tampering of evidence, and obstruction of justice. I'm black, y'all, and I'm black. The ordeal began around 11:30 p.m. Saturday along the 400 block of South Street. Gregory Jackson. Oh, there's a fumble on the play. There's the late, great Gregory Jackson. Jesus Christ. This guy could be 25 or 58. Right? Gregory Jackson, 34. I'm right in the middle there. And his friend walked by another man. Listen to this, how it starts. Identified by officials as Micah Towns. I love the name Micah, by the way. And words were exchanged. This is what happens. There was more than 3 black guys within a 5 feet area of each other. That's my theory. Investigators said Jackson swung at Towns, hitting him in the face in a confrontation that was caught on cell phone video. We'll show you in a minute. Jackson and his friend continued to attack Towns, throwing him against the window of a building. Jackson, who had a permit to carry, then pulled out a gun, which is unusual. You get a permit.
I know.
Seriously, I almost skipped over that. Fired at Towns, investigators said. Towns, who also had a permit to carry, get the fuck out of here. What happened to all the ghost guns? Pulled out his own weapon and fired back, shooting Jackson. Between the two men, 17 shots were fired, according to the DA's office. What in God's name triggered that? Apparently they knew each other. They're boxers and shit, and... Investigators said Jackson's friend... Guys, black guys, I don't know how to help you out here. Can you just beat each other up and not kill each other? Especially if you're boxers or whatever. Why do you gotta fucking...
Kill each other.
Nobody wants to see that. You know, you think white people hate you and shit. Nobody wants to see that. Investigators said Jackson's friend picked up Jackson's gun and handed to a man in a blue hooded sweatshirt. That man in the blue hoodie then left the scene. Jackson's friend put pressure on his wound and gave his information to responding police officers. Oh, look at it. Spread down here. There goes Jackson's friend now. Investigators have not yet said whether Rasheen Doreen is the man in the blue hoodie sweatshirt or the man who remained with Jackson after the shooting. At the same time, police said Karan Garner, who was walking nearby on South Street, pulled out his own weapon and fired at Jackson and his friend. Garner allegedly aimed at police. An officer then fired back and shot Garner in the hand. Garner ran down down American Street, perfect, shouting, "He shot my hand off! He shot my hand off! He shot..." And then he ran into a pizza place where a guy said, "You wasted 8 fucking good aprons on him, Henry." Oh my God, the poor prick. He shot my hand off. Garner then approached police on 4th and Bainbridge Streets, where another shooting occurred an hour earlier. This is Philly, folks. This isn't like a bad section, and told them he had been shot. Garner was then taken to Thomas Jefferson University, but refused services because he don't like white founders. No. Jackson died from his injuries. That's just fucking horrible, man.
He's gone.
Young kid,
And we couldn't do nothing about
I think. While Towns was taken to Penn Presbyterian Hospital, where he's in serious condition. We have pictures of all of them?
Not all of them.
No, put the ones up that you
We have the other ones that they're mentioned.
later.
Yeah.
Investigators have not, I was going to say serious condition. I'll show you guys serious. Investigators have not yet determined a motive for the initial fight between Jackson and Towns. They revealed during an afternoon press conference that Towns and one of the men who attacked him are both boxers, though they're unsure if that had anything to do with the fight Saturday night.
You're gonna eat lightning and you're gonna crap thunder.
By the way, Philly's a good boxing town. Fucking Joe Frazier and whatnot. They continued to investigate and search through surveillance video. Besides Jackson, 2 other people who police say were innocent bystanders. Again, can you imagine? You're out on a Saturday night enjoying were killed during the shootings on South Street, including Chris Minners. That's him on the left or the middle?
That's him on the left.
That's Minners. Talk about serious condition. Guy shredded. Including Chris Minners, a 22-year-old advisor for 2nd and 6th grade boys. Good guy, Girard College, one of the Philly's oldest educational institutions. 11 people were also wounded by the dozens of rounds of bullets sprayed into a massive crowd of people gathered near 2nd and 3rd Streets in the area popular for its bars and restaurants and hacky comedians. What? The 11 shooting victims who survived were 17-year-old boy, 2 18-year-old men, 2 20-year-old men, 3 men aged 23, 43, and 69, 2 17-year-old girls, and a 19-year-old woman. Their medical conditions range from stable to critical. That poor girl on the right was one of the innocent people killed. Fucking A. I can't blame it all on Biden, but it's going on in every goddamn city the Democrats run, and just, has nothing to do with bail reform and shit like that, right? No, nothing at all. Has nothing to do with District Attorney Krasner. What's his name? Larry Krasner? I don't know. Fucking makes Gascon, like I said, look like a right-winger. This is all planned, folks. And they don't give a fuck if you're walking down the street that night with your wife minding your business and you get shot. They don't have to deal with it, the politicians. See, they live behind gates. They have security around the clock. They want to take your guns, yet they're provided security with guns. And fuck them all. Let's stay on this this lawlessness in kind of Democrat-run cities. New Orleans, I just had to do this because I couldn't believe what I was watching. Lawlessness in New Orleans. Again, a weekend. I think it was a weekend. Who knows? Doesn't really matter. You've seen... we've seen this shit in New York, by the way. We've seen clips of cars doing this in New York. But the cops get involved here. And again, I don't understand what their purpose is. I don't understand the disrespect for the cops. But this is the middle of the day, as you can see. New Orleans is basically a tourist, relies on tourism. But look at the people standing around waiting to get hit by these cars doing donuts, or I say doing beignets, because they're in New Orleans. Very clever, Nick. Let's check this shit out. That's my wife trying to get out of the garage. Her trying to get into the driveway. Shitface. Okay? That's one clip. People are standing around. You know somebody's about to get fucking... then we get some play-by-play commentary coming up soon. Here's some more.
And another car.
They do in front of the police?
In front of the police?
It's already wrecked. Look at the tire.
Look at the brothers.
Two of them at the same time.
That's a New Orleans.
And they're on top of the police car.
That's a Rocco. What's your Facebook?
That is messed up. That's wrong.
Uh-oh, retard alert. Retard alert.
This kid is right, the Mexican guy. I think that's what he's from. That is wrong. We got another one, right? One more clip. He provides more, and he's right on the money with his commentary. This is so American, folks. This is, sounds like, I don't know, immigrants, again, could have grew up here, whatever. Very heavy Mexican accent or whatever, watching black dudes do donuts around the car. This is as American as it gets. We're wild, man. This country's wild. Listen to the commentary by my friend Pedro here. What?
So these young people got no respect for other people or for work.
Absolutely right. He goes, these young people got no respect. Now I got to go. I got to pick up my cousins coming in from Venezuela on a plane at 3 in the morning. Anyhow, he's exactly right. The fucking country is retarded.
Why is everyone so fucking stupid?
I don't know.
Why aren't more people intelligent?
Like
me.
not divided. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Fenway Park. I'd like to draw your attention to the following American League rules. Anybody going on or near the playing surface will be prosecuted. Biden's border debacle. Up to 15,000. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,000 migrants, many of them from Central America, Venezuela, and Cuba, may soon join a massive caravan that set off from southern Mexico toward the U.S. border Monday, with its members calling on President Biden to repeal Title 42. That's the law that says they all have to look like Jackie Robinson, or we're not letting them in. Title 42, the health policy, that's the one that Trump passed, because he couldn't let everybody in because, you know what, fucking, and Biden's been threatening to lift that. So look at this line. This is not made up. This is not a Photoshop thing. Look at this. This is a line at Home Depot to get jobs. It looks like the beginning of the fucking Puerto Rican marathon, if there is such a thing. Title 42 health policy by the time they reach the frontier. What the fuck's a front? Biden promised the Haitian community, this is a guy talking who they were interviewing, part of the caravan. He promised the Haitian community that he would help one migrant from the Caribbean nation told Fox News. He will recall Title 42. He will help us have real asylum. But you can't claim real asylum when you're coming across our borders dressed in brand new Nike fucking sneakers, Nike sweatshirts, hats that I can't even afford. You can't claim asylum. You're full of fucking shit, and everybody knows it. But anyhow, doesn't matter to the Dems because they want this country browner than my ass. And, that way these people will vote for the Democrats for the next 100. That's the plan. You're watching it be executed in front. Republicans are nowhere to be found. So fuck them. They're part of it. I'm on my own. That's why I got a super soaker yesterday. Filled it with hot chicken soup. Look at these fucking mongrels. Yeah, I'm sure there's not a child rapist in that bunch. Nick, and again, the truth is, most of them may be hardworking people. That's not the point. We don't have an obligation as the United States to fucking provide a life for everybody who's having a tough life all over the planet. Fucking Biden. You know what's funny? He'll be long gone. So the jerk-offs that work under him. These people will get here, and their neighborhoods are going to look like that. And they're going to, what the fuck? This is as bad as... And if the Republicans are still around, maybe they vote Republican. At that point, it's over. The caravan began its journey from Tapachula. Say it again, will you? Tapachula. Tlapaca. Less than 10 miles from Mexico border with Guatemala. A departure time to coincide with the start of the Summit of the Americans in Los Angeles. That's hilarious. Americans in Los Angeles. That's how I write. Here's Griff Jenkins giving us an update at the Brown Monster. Go ahead, let it roll.
Good morning, Bill. And breaking now, moments ago, I got a message. You mentioned that caravan
my wife
in Tapachula, the southern part of Mexico. The caravan organizer, Luis Villagran, sent me a message saying he believes they are 9,500 strong, and this caravan stretches some 5.5 kilometers long as they make their way. He said they were met initially by about 100 to 150 Mexican officials and immigration police, but they, quote, let them pass freely. So it is on its way here.
All right, get up! Get up!
You see, that wasn't happening under Trump. Because Trump said to Mexico, you better start retaining these people, or we're going to do some real economic damage to your third world shithole. But under Biden, who's bending over the sink with his asshole spread, they're more than welcome. The Guardian reported last week that about 11,000 people, that's 11,000 people were part of the caravan and suggested their number could swell as high as 15,000. To give you an idea how big that is, that's 15,000. The Mexican government has neither provided an official estimate of the caravan size or made any public comment about it. Of course not.
Fuck you and fuck you! Who's next?
Typically, large caravans traveling to the United States are made up of a couple thousand people at most, which is, again, 4 Corollas and 5 Mexican families. Oh, cut it out, Nick. That's an old one. I know, but it's a goodie. Good night, everybody. Nice career I had. Pictures show hundreds of migrants carrying backpacks filled with Skittles and Cheetos and other nutritious shit they give their kids. Carrying backpacks, children, umbrellas. They got umbrellas. Claiming asylum, but they have umbrellas. And various flags. See that? They don't even fucking bring the American flags. They're bringing their own flags because they have no intention on assimilating, which is the only way this country can work, and that's why it's not working anymore. So suck a bag of dicks, Democrats, and anybody who voted for this cocksucker. Back to the show. As well as pushing strollers with retarded kids in it and wheelchairs with retarded adults in it. Some are also spotted carrying large signs and food and water. And remember what Donald Trump said about all this.
They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists. And some, I assume, are good people.
But they're bringing enchiladas. They're bringing contantes.
Let me tell you something. Some of the good people. Some of the rapist cocksuckers.
And I'll do what I can. God damn it, I'll get that down before he's dead. So anyways, that's the product of the Biden administration. And again, not him, folks. The people who are pushing him out there on the dolly to speak. We all laughed at AOC. I'll say it again. And nitwits like that in the squad and shit. But I got to believe they're fucking happy. They're getting their shit done for the most part. Matter of fact, they're not even, if there's any unhappiness, they don't even think it's going, they're not radical enough. You're flying people in unvetted from country. We already talked about, again, stories just disappear. Like how many thousands of Afghans came over here unvetted and shit? Some of them we know that are terrorists. You wait till the next mall blows up. Anyhow, let's stay on the Biden family. Naked gun is the headline. The latest embarrassing personal video leak for President Biden's scandal-scarred offspring. Oh, somebody's a poet. A naked Hunter Biden casually waves around a handgun. Cavalier clip of Hunter Biden holding the apparent illegally obtained weapon emerged amid the rash of mass shootings and random gun violence in major cities that included 11 incidents on Saturday and Sunday alone that left at least 15 people dead and 61 injured across the U.S., data shows. It's so funny. It's all picking up right before the midterms, isn't it? And it's going to coincide with, I think tomorrow night or Thursday night starts they're doing a whole thing on January 6th. They got all kinds of footage that we haven't seen before. They got a guy from ABC News who used to be the president of ABC. He's directing it. It's going to be terrific. Can you fucking imagine? Excuse me. After his dad called on Congress to pass new gun control measures. Imagine he's passing all these gun control measures and wants to. His son's walking around with a bag sack on a Glock 21. Measures to stem the slaughter, declaring in a televised primetime address last week that the Second Amendment, like all other rights, is not absolute. Like your right to be president, you filthy pencil neck. He also said this about guns. I don't care when and why, but it was very recently. Go ahead.
Why are we willing to live with this carnage? Why do we keep letting this happen?
Is that all he said?
You fucking hypocrite.
Yeah. Why are we letting this happen? I don't know. Ask your fucking son who lied on his application to get a gun. Are you on drugs? No. Have you ever? No. See, Joe, we unlike you, we follow the news. And Senator Ron Johnson, Republican, Wisconsin, slammed the apparent hypocrisy. Before proposing or passing any new federal gun legislation, the Biden administration ought to enforce existing laws, regardless of who is violating them, even if that person is the president's son, Mr. Johnston said.
You are correct, sir.
I've written oversight letters to the United States Secret Service, FBI, and ATF regarding the incident involving Hunter's gun dumped in a trash can behind a grocery store across from a high school in Delaware. But now, this is when you see the advantage the Dems have as far as media. That should be, you know what I mean? You might see it on Fox News mentioned. Not even they're guaranteed, really. But it's, you know what I mean? If it was even a little bit equal, that story would be. But when Hunter's laptop story came out, remember what they did? They buried it and fucking, this is why. This is why. I sound like, this is why. Across the high school in Delaware, Eddie Johnson, who's been investigating the Biden family's controversial overseas business dealings. This guy's as filthy as anybody ever set foot in the White House. Unsurprisingly, Johnson says, I have not gotten a satisfactory response from any of these agencies. Of course not. Hunter Biden recorded the video on October 17th of 2018, according to Radar Online. So that, you know, somebody dug it up and said, hey, let's try to play their game. We'll dump this out there. You'll hear it here and it'll go away. Which first revealed its existence. The outlet and a Post source described his companion in the video as a prostitute. I kind of like his lifestyle. I'm just saying. Although, I know he's married, but whatever. But if I was single and I was a spoiled brat like him, I got a feeling I might be doing the same shit. Although, if my dad was president, I might try to I wouldn't document everything I do. Every time this guy shows his balls, he has somebody sketching it and put it. Ay, ay, ay. So he was seeing, the companion of a prostitute in his.
You fucking whore.
Oh, don't talk to her like that.
Yeah, that's it. Go home. Get my dinner ready.
Come on, Hunter. Your father teach you anything? 5 days earlier, he bought a .38 caliber handgun in Delaware, Politico reported last year. In order to make the purchase, Hunter Biden answered no to a question that asked, are you an unlawful user of or addicted to marijuana or any depressant, stimulant, narcotic, drug, or any other controlled substance? He had to be laughing his ass off.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
Well, I want to meet the person that actually says yes on something like that.
Well, no, that's exactly right. It's like when you're flying to another country and they hand out those things on the plane. Are you bringing in a firearm? Yeah. Exactly. Do you have 15 grand in cocaine on you? Yeah. It's an insult. It's a fucking insult. I don't know what. Maybe they take your fingerprints. Maybe it's a trick we don't even. I don't know. Imagine him laughing his balls off. Yes, I snorted some St. Joseph's crushed ass. Hunter Biden has acknowledged repeated struggles with drug addiction and alcoholism. And Radar's report included a photo of what appeared to be crack cocaine and, no, it wasn't. That was foot powder. And drug paraphernalia, including a spoon on a pair of plates. Well, maybe they just ordered dessert from room service. You shouldn't prejudge. Hunter Biden, whose addiction issues and cheating led to his 2017 divorce from Kathleen Buell, was discharged from the U.S. Navy Reserve 3 years early after testing positive for cocaine.
All right, get out.
I go. I'm going to tell you something. Just weeks after Hunter illegally bought the weapon, Biden's lover, Holly Biden, the widow of his late brother, Beau Biden, I don't know there if I'll poo-poo on her too, though, right? But Joe gave them their blessing, remember? They're lucky they found each other. Oh, yeah, she really struck gold finding that guy. Suck a bag of dick, shit, dinkweed. Late widow Beau Biden tossed the gun into a supermarket garbage can, the woman did, Hall, setting off a Secret Service and FBI probe. Guess what, folks? No charges were filed. You know why? He's a Democrat. What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? Nothing. It's my mother's name, Jimmy. What's the matter with you? Get it out of here. Take it back. I don't give a fuck where you got to get it out of. Take it back. Let's move on to the horse-toothed jackass, the carrot-chomping sugar cube eater. AOC was upset. This is what she's worried about as the world falls apart. Her party, and she helped bringing it down, might never see the light of day again, hopefully. This is what she's worried about. And I got to admit, she looks good in these clips because nobody's thrown her a sugar cube. You don't see those John Elway chompers. But I got to admit, she's kind of hot. Until she opens her fucking Latina pie hole that I'd like to drop a fucking meadow muffin in it. That's a horse shit, folks, if you didn't grow up in a country. Dallas knows what I'm talking about. AOC's history of the term Latin, she says Latinx. Far-left rep Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, we call her Sandy, here she is laughing as she sees Mitch McConnell falling down a flight of stairs. Defending... Leave that up there, it's beautiful.
Hello, I'm Mr. Red.
Cortez defending using the word Latinx to describe Hispanic men and women over the weekend. And this is what she's upset about, and slammed her Democrat colleagues who she said rail against it. Despite polling data indicating most Hispanics don't use the term or vehemently object to it. Oh my God, she's dumber than a bag of cheese, this Mama Luke.
Oh, fucking idiot.
In the spirit of pride, I want to have a note on gender inclusivity in the Spanish language, Ocasio-Cortez said in a video posted to her Instagram story. Do they ever leave it alone for 5 minutes? Do they ever? She doesn't talk about policy. What can make your life better as an American, you hardworking tax? You're not even on their radar. Oh my God. Let's listen to her and maybe give it a tug. She looks kind of a little got out of the shower or whatnot.
I wanted to have a note on gender inclusivity in Spanish language. People sometimes like to make a lot of drama over the term Latinx. But even before Latinx, people were trying to do this, like, use an at to have the A and the O together. Gender is fluid, language is fluid, and I think people right now are using the E term as gender neutral in order to be as inclusive as possible. Don't have to make drama over it. I also have a mini rant about this because there are some politicians, including Democratic politicians, that rail against the term Latinx. And they're like, this is so bad. This is so bad for the party. Like, blah, blah, blah.
Makes me hard.
And, like, it's almost as though it has not struck some of these
cute
folks that another
ignore
person's
her
identity
Groucho
is
Marx
not
eyebrow.
about your re-election prospects. Like, this is not about you. Second of all,
pause. The first sign of somebody who's kind of dumb is they say like every 12 seconds. You'll see that on TikTok with a lot of my the little girls I watch. No, do you know what I'm saying though? Yeah. The average 16 to 18-year-old says like. What am I saying? College campus. I was watching Steven Crowder interview college-educated kids, supposedly. This girl must have said like fucking 40 times in a minute. And she's a representative of the U.S. government. Again, cute. I'd fix her nose, my foot. Go ahead.
X on your campaign literature is what you think is the difference between winning or losing an election. You need to talk about healthcare more. You need to raise people's wages. You need to talk about more issues that also matter to people.
That's enough. I'm going to shoot a low right on your forehead later, you dirty, stupid rat ass. The congresswoman, whose father is from the Bronx and mother worked the streets of Puerto Rico, told her supporters that if her colleagues are so worried about using the term, they need to rethink their priorities. Here she is whinnying after she won the Preakness. Ocasio-Cortez went on to claim that while Latinx is more convenient in written form, can you imagine spending this time? Another gender-neutral term, Latin. I guess that's how you pronounce it, like latrine. Latine. Thank you very much. Dallas spent some time with some hooker from the...
I don't need your judgment.
All right. Is a better alternative when speaking. She also suggested both terms are comparable. By the way, it's comparable, not comparable. Even educated people now have turned it into comparable. When does this shit happen? And it's not important. It's important. And you fucking asshole baseball announcers, if I hear one more of you say scuffle instead of struggle, I am going to choke the life out of you. Back to the show. To the Spanish word nostroses, which translates to gender neutral, us or we. Oh my God, she makes me want to poop.
Quédate quieta. No come mierda, sarna, hijo de puta.
¿Qué te estás haciendo ahora?
Eso no es mi ay, hijo de puta.
Hello. I'm Mr. Red.
That being said, if you don't want to use it, no one's forcing you to, she said. God, she never... There you go. That was her reply. Ocasio-Cortez concluded, but for people who enjoy trying to figure out language and have it meet their modern age, that's kind of where it's at. Her rant on inclusivity came just days after fellow New York Dem Rep. Richie Torres blasted the New York Yankees for, again, focusing on the important stuff. You wonder why white people have been running the world? Yankees for using the term Latinx in a tweet about gun violence. I like his hairline. He uses a goddamn ruler. I represent the South Bronx, home to the Yankees. Never heard anyone locally use the term Latinx. Does a majority of Hispanics actually use the term Latinx? Torres posted in a Twitter thread on May 27. If the answer is no, how did Latinx come to be the term to use in government in corporate America? He asked a good question. Of course, Horst, he said.
That's a sick question. You're a sick fuck, and I'm not that sick that I'm going to answer it.
This is what your politicians are fighting over, folks. Kids are dying in schools, gun violence on the weekends in every major city, crimes through the roof, rape. I didn't even show you a clip of a guy throwing a woman on the tracks. No train was coming in the Bronx. Some young kid in a wife beater, Yankees hat, the official, I'm a rapist uniform. Some woman just minding her business, grabs her and fucking wings her, and then takes off like a chicken shit. One other thing. I want you to guess how much I weigh. Mind you, muscle weighs 5 times more than fat. And I have been lifting a little bit. I asked Dallas, he said 185, which is 8 out of 10 people say that when they look at me. I'm 222.6. Now I know most of that's muscle, but that's too stocky. I got to get down to 221.8. 222. If I was that size in college, I would have run all over people. Anyways, finally tonight, I think, right? Yep. Good stories, folks. Right? Okay. Tiger escapes. What, from the zoo? No, silly. Greg Norman, the creator of the Saudi-backed controversial golf series. This guy, by the way, this guy's got the world by the balls. He made millions golfing, right? He had all those endorsements, titles like they all do. So he was a multimillionaire. But he also is a great businessman. So he started his own line of clothing before any of them did. He is a billionaire, I believe. And now he's starting this Saudi. I got to ask my brother his opinion on this. My brother's an avid follower of golf. All my sisters are too, by the way. So he's starting this thing, and remember, we covered the story. It's controversial because Mickelson mentioned, what was the guy's name that got chopped up by the Saudis? The fucking Pierogi. Whatever his fucking name was. Anyways, he's pulling people away, offering them huge money to leave the PGA, you know? And again, I'm a free market guy, and I'm not a huge golf, but I would understand the PGA getting their nose bent out of joint because, you know, Mickelson, all these guys became rich and famous through the PGA, did they not? But they also made the PGA what it is. So I'm a free market guy, whatever. And I want to see some explosions on the golf course in Saudi. I want to see a guy hit one into the bunker and fucking somebody loses a leg. Anyways, creator of the Saudi-backed controversial golf series, told the Washington Post that Tiger Woods, listen to this, was offered and turned down a deal that was mind-blowingly enormous. This is coming from a guy who's got a huge cock, by the way. Go on his Instagram. Greg Norman I'm talking about. Did I show that last couple weeks ago? He puts pictures of himself on the beach in his bathing suit. He's got a giant cock. Like he needs that on top of all the other shit. Another well-hung guy. That was mind-blowing, enormous. 9 figures. Let me do that for you retards. Right? Let me do that. 100,000, that would be 6 figures, right? You get it? But if you added some more zeros, right? 3 more, that's 9 figures, like 100 million. They said the high 9 figures, which I would say high not means over a 500 million, which close to $1 billion. But do you really think he cares about money at this point? I would. I'd have a trail of whores. I'd leave a trail of dead whores off my yacht from the Atlantic to the fucking... You know how truckers leave dead hookers across the country? Just a trail of fucking chum for the sharks. Anyways, the offer reached into the high 9 digits, Greg Norman's high 9 digits. Again, even for somebody, he's a billionaire, by the way, Tiger, so it's not like he needs it, but I would have, because you're golfing. But you know what? They say he might be done. He embarrassed himself at the fucking Masters because they almost amputated his leg, by the way. So that's still offering you a lot of money. He'd be the spokesman in the face. Whatever. Anyways, the Post marked Cannizzaro, the New York Post sports guy. I don't like him because I sent him a private thing complimenting him fucking on Twitter a few years ago. He never answered me back, so fuck him. Anyways, broke the Phil Mickelson. He broke that Phil Mickelson signed with the golf series, which is expected to directly compete with the PGA Tour. Look at Mickelson. Here's a guy I love. A lot of people don't like him because they say he's a phone. He's got that all-American, he's very likable, but he'll sell his mother for he's a degenerate gambler, which makes me, so what? He's living a life that you could only dream of. And he likes to gamble, and he golfs like that. He would always take wild chances right in the middle of even I know that. I'm a casual follower. Anyway, his deal is worth $200 million. Again, another guy who's got plenty in the bank. So why not? Mickelson didn't think twice. Well, he did a little bit.
Give me the money, you understand? Give me the fucking money, you hear me? You hear me? I gotta come here and bust my balls. Give me the fucking money.
That's him choking out Norman. Other high-profile golfers, such as Kevin Na, said nah. No, he said yes. And Dustin Johnson, who obviously is planning to go back to cocaine, he's got to have that kind of dough, are also expected to compete. He's probably the best golfer right now. One of the best. Johnson is unbelievable. By the way, and he's banging what? Gretzky's fucking daughter? Do these guys have it made? They're playing a game that people work their whole lives when they retire, and they do that for fun. They're doing that for fun. So when they retire, what's he going to work in a machine shop to relax? I don't get it. God bless them all of them. Johnson are also expected to compete in Norman's new league starting as early as Thursday, where the series will tee off outside London. When did I just say?
Thursday.
This week?
Yeah.
No. Woods acknowledged before that he was approached by the LIV tour. Those Roman numerals for whatever. But rejected it. The legendary golfer also acknowledged Mickelson's controversial comments toward when he brought up Khashoggi being killed and chopped up. Mickelson said, yeah, the interesting people run that, whatever. Then he took it back. Mickelson has his opinion on this is Tiger talking, where he sees the game of golf going. I have my viewpoint on how I see the game of golf, and I've supported the tour. And my foundation has run events on the tour for a number of years. I just think that what Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer have done in starting the tour and breaking away from the PGA of America and creating our tour in around 1968 or 69, somewhere in there, I just think there's a legacy to that, Woods told reporters in May. I've been playing out here for a couple of years, over decades, and I think there's a legacy to it. I still think that the tour has so much to offer, so much opportunity, and I said to Tiger,
Who gives a fuck what you think?
No, I didn't. I understand his point of view. I understand Mickelson's point of view. What's the video of? Oh, I know what. This is this is Greg Norman's, this is his assistant putting together a plan with Norman what they want to do to the PGA, right? Yep. Yeah.
It's the gopher.
Oh, God help us. Bill Murray. Did he get an Oscar for that? He better have. That is it, ladies and gentlemen, for today. A lot of news. I'm bothered about that Latinx story. It's going to keep me up all night.
You mean watching her play with her hair is?
Yeah. She was doing that to be sexy. Mitch McConnell's trying to get a hard on with a little piggly wiggly. Oh, I can't get a fucking nut. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to sign up monthly at thecomicsgym.com. Thecomicsgym.com. Don't forget patreon.com. Sign up there monthly. Don't forget nickdip.com. Click on the merchandise button if you'd like a hat, t-shirt, mug. We have maxi skirts and silly hats for $9.95. And don't forget Cameo.com. If you want me to roast a friend or relative, I'll make a video on my phone. You go to Cameo.com, click on my profile, tell me about the person. That is it. You think it, I'll say it. You're very welcome. See you back here for the third day of the week tomorrow, Wednesday already. Until then, have a good day.